So this is my 2020 Africa Twin. It's the standard model and it's the manual. And this is how I wheelie it. Bam! Oi oi! First gear, second, third. A lot of you been asking, so YouTube, this is a closed road, this is a safe environment, any stunts are performed by a trained professional. Anyway, guys, you probably noticed the title is, I've specifically titled it that way, which is how I wheelie the Africa Twin, because this is not a full in-depth tutorial, just because I don't have the right tires on for it. Today I'm actually down it just to get a feel for these, because I've not really wheelied this bike properly in about 4 or 5 months because of my injury. So I won't be doing nothing too crazy, won't be going too high. But what I am going to do is I'm going to show you the different ways that I wheelie this bike, different techniques. I will say as well that I've had this remapped. I've also dropped a tooth in the front sprocket. But I was wheeling this bike before all of that. But go on, pop a wheelie. So yeah, there's probably 4 ways that I wheelie this bike. We're going to go through them. First thing I'm going to say as well, guys, learning how to wheelie an Africa Twin and learning how to wheelie a motorcycle, 2 different things. If you can't wheelie, I'd suggest go learn off a stunt rider for one, to get a bike more suitable for learning to wheelie on. But for those of you who don't need to do that, and those of you who aren't going to listen to that, this video will have to do for now. All the electrics off. You can see I have mine in power 2. Even before the remap, I wheelied with it in the second power mode. ABS off, wheelie control off, traction control off. First one is nice and simple. Ideally, you're used to using this thing down here, and ideally you've got good control over your motorcycle anyway. Like if you can't do simple stuff like U-turn your motorcycle, you just not got comfy on it. You probably shouldn't be doing anything you see. So it will wheelie pretty easily. It's an easy bike to wheelie, but it's also very difficult at the same time. Like there's plenty of power for you to wheelie the bike. The balance is pretty good as well for a massive adventure bike. Balance point's a bit techie. It's a fine area. The throttle's very touchy, and yeah, it's pretty precise even just to sit at balance point on this bike. Probably what I'd suggest getting used to is just a light pop of the clutch and a little bit of throttle. You can see how small that is. This is just for you to get used to wheeling the bike, because you're staying at a slow speed, what, 15, 16 miles per hour, and it's micro input. You've got a big 1100 parallel twin in first gear. You don't need to be giving it much at all, and I'm on the brake, you know. As soon as I do that, I'm on the brake right there. And I've not wheelied in these tires as well, so keep that in mind, guys. I'm actually down here today to get comfortable on these tires, because I've obviously got this trip coming up. I want to be popping wheelies. I want to pop a wheelie here and there. First one's just a little clutch up in first gear. Bam! And it will just get to balance point nicely. Another way you'll see me wheelie this is literally I won't use the clutch. Be rolling about 25 miles per hour. So you're in the RPMs. It's like 4K on the RPMs right there. Maybe a little bit higher. I'll let it decelerate and crack the throttle. It comes up so easy, just like a clutch up, even here. And then that's foot brake being used there. Tiny bit, just to feel it out. Is modulating the word, modulating a bit of throttle input, fine throttle inputs, fine brake inputs. Just feeling it out, kind of talking to myself right now. That's exactly what I'm doing. Like I say, it's been like 4 months since I've wheelied this bike. Anywhere near balance point anyway. So as a recap, I'd go slower, 15 miles an hour, literally like that. Bam, see that? That's literally as much, that right there, like a little throttle blip. Like a little throttle, what's wrong with me? Little throttle blip. There, bam. So that's the clutch up, that's the first one. Make sure you're using the brake. And then the second one, you could even let it decelerate, bam, and you're up. Cool, barking off. what I was trying to say is the reason why I tried to come up so fast is because if you're gonna wheelie high in first gear, you haven't got a lot of RPMs to work with, and I can't clutch coast this, so you get high up in the RPMs, which means you got a lot of engine brake, so you're pretty safe as long as you don't panic. But then the bike's pretty much screaming at you. If you don't get up high, this is exactly what will happen here. So if I'm going, look how fast it takes. English, need to speak English. Can't put a sentence together. Look how quickly I get to the limiter. Second way I wheelie this bike would be in second gear, which is the same way. You're going to need the clutch for this one though. If you haven't dropped a tooth in the front sprocket or got a remap, then you're really going to have to bounce this. Not that much, mate. Just you have to bounce it off the forks as you clutch up. Just clutch up. Bam. That's second gear. I'll also do knee knockers in a second gear as well. Oi, oi! Well, I'm meant to do that. Not meant to be going for little dropbacks on these tyres. They're just so unstable. I have no confidence in them. They could be better than I'm making them out to be, but I'm not trying to find out on an Africa Twin. The good thing about the knee knocker is you can see a lot. So on the street, actually on private roads, you can see a lot. But actually, I'll take that back. On most street bikes, you can see a lot, or any bike, you can see a lot when you knee knock. On this bike, I still have to peek over. And yeah, the thing what made the knee knockers on this bike better was making sure my arms are relaxed and so I could bring myself over here, keep my weight centered, but look over this gap here. While we're in second gear as well, this is a technique that I learned just from like watching them do that in Brazil. If you guys don't know, I was out there for a while. I never got to get to the point where I wanted to get to, which is to go and really learn. I was learning for like 2.5 weeks, but then yeah, long story, we'll leave it at that. I'll be back out for round 2 hopefully in October. Anyway, just being around them and watching them do it. The technique they call it is quebrou or quebrao, and that's pretty much, you don't use the clutch, and it's when you see them swerve the bike from left to right or right to left. It's a full commitment move. It's easier than it looks, but again, I'm on these tires, and the thing with this technique is it can send you into a swerve. Well, you're gonna swerve, but if you never swerved before, it's not gonna go well. I've had swerves go terrible. I've flown in this field, I've flown in that ditch. On the 450, not on this, on the 450. But it's not really like that. You just have to counter the swerve, and that's it. And then the bike will center out, and you'll be up. But how it works is, as the bike moves from one side, it will lean this side, and then as you come back over, the forks will compress. So you time it, you go whoop, boom. Probably the worst explanation of it ever. And you can do that whilst the bike's decelerating, while you're off the throttle. So you got engine braking kicking in, and then bam, and then come up. Or you don't have to come off the throttle if you don't need to. If there's enough power there, you can flick it straight up. And these are the tires I'm running, the Dunlop Trail Max Raid 50/50s. As you can see, they're not as bad as I thought, but that's my confidence getting in the way. And as well, it's just, I don't really know. You don't really see too many people wheeling on these tires. People who wheelie bikes stick to street tires. They're all right, but to go near balance point, to stay under balance point, maybe a little stand-up wheelie, little stand-up power wheelie, you're all right, because the bike will stay nice and stable. You keep putting power down. It's when you start getting up to balance point, the bike gets really light and it goes weightless, and then you've got to worry about the left and right balance a lot more. So, and then especially when you start dropping the bike back. But yeah, doing little bits on these tires will be alright. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the Brazilian technique. So again, that's second gear, no clutch. And all you do is swerve one side, and then that's coming up there. Boom, you'll feel it. If you go left and right, boom, you'll feel that bounce, even right there. Even without committing to the wheelie, you'll feel that. Boom. I'm gonna go back on myself. Oh, hold on guys, I'm gonna have to wait for this guy. I can't tell if he stopped. He was going so slowly. For this technique as well, you definitely want heat in the tires. As it's swerving, so let's say I'm swerving right, I'll correct the bike this way so that's compressing the forks. Boom! And as you do this, so you're swerving here, swerve back left, And then as you flick the bike up, you need to get your body weight over to the left, because that's going to counter the swerve. If you just stay here, and then even if you just center, the bike will swerve. So you have to, boom, you have to counter. I'm not even going to try and lift the wheel high. I'm just going to pop the wheel up because I don't know what to expect with these tires. So you're here, just like that. So if I shut off the throttle and do it, that's using the engine brake. Can't see nothing. That's just me, I'm feeling the bike out. That's too fast as well for me. The problem with this bike is it will go so fast. Oh shit. Nearly noobed out. Second gear on this bike is so fast. And to be where the power is, imagine before the remap and the sprocket change. Let me show you where the power is. The power is here. And that's with 1 tooth up. So that's the ideal power would be here. Then I don't need to shut off throttle, you know, I can just be here and just crap on throttle and it will come up. When I've got the street tires on, I can lift it like that in third without the clutch. I think, in fourth gear, in fourth gear, my brain's gone blank. In fourth, I need to do that over a bump. And now what I'm going to do is show you the final technique, which is just accelerate, put the power down in first gear, and then put the wheel back down. But just before it hits the floor, shut off the throttle so that the bike slams a bit. And it will compress the forks more. And then you time that when you shift into second gear, and it will lift back up, just like a clutch up, but easier because you're bouncing it off the forks. And then when you put it down again, boom, you can lift it in third, maybe fourth. We'll give it a go down here anyway, because what I'm going to do after this, we're going to go out onto the main road. We're going to go out onto the private road just there, and I'm going to show you real situations where I'd use this just naturally as I'm riding and just having fun. So yeah, first gear. Here. First gear. Second. Third. That's fourth, it won't come up. This road's on an angle as well. The camera won't pick it up, but you can see the bike swerving over. You're better off stopping too soon or too late on these big bikes. Just put it down, reset, chill. Let's get out on this private road quickly. Oh, actually, stand-up wheelies is something which I'm learning at the moment. I can't really do it too well. Yeah, way easier on the road. You can see it's just a power wheelie. I'm increasing in speed, but you need to, you bounce it up, and when you're off road, you need the traction. So you don't want to bounce through the forks. You want to bounce through the pegs. Otherwise, the wheel's just going to spin, and that's something that I'm practicing at the moment. But it's way sketchier. I'm still figuring out how to hold onto the bike properly, how to balance myself, because if you notice, like, the whole time everything's loose. When you wheelie the bike, arms is loose. Everything relaxed. Oh, there's another flipping AI car over there. Like I say, when I put the street tires on, I'll break it down better. It's that nodding at the bike. I highly recommend dropping a tooth in the front sprocket on this bike and getting the remap done. If you go to BHP UK, you can use code Gringo10. Tell them over the phone or through email, however you contact them, and they'll give you 10% off your service. That's where I got mine done. You can watch the full video as well. I'll link that in the description. If you want to support what I do a bit further as well, I've got a new hoodie drop coming to the website, braplife.co.uk. Before you go and buy a new hoodie, check mine out. There won't be many of them, there'll be 30 on this drop. And if you want to support further than that, check out my Patreon. I'm going to drop a vlog on there this week, and it's just talking about, well, that's Patreon stuff. If you want to see what the Patreon's about, I've got an intro video over there which needs to be updated, but it will tell you what you can expect over there. But I've got more ideas at the moment. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe with a bell notification, and also if you've got hype points, hype the video. It helps push channels that are less than 500,000 subscribers, gets into the browse features, and I'll see you on the next video.